Welcome to the Adam Rothstein Hockey Podcast. This is your podcast for all things hockey. On this podcast, we talk about past history to the modern day and what you can do to grow the sport. I am your host, Adam Rothstein. All right, let's get to the show. And welcome back to the Adam Rothstein Hockey Podcast. This is episode 24. So I do want to get into pond hockey rules today. We're going to be discussing that. I'll bring that up and show you in a little bit. But first, I have to talk about Wednesday night rivalry. Sidney Crosby, again, is beating Ovechkin by 1 point, just one. He had an assist last night, and the Penguins wound up beating my Washington Capitals 4-1. And I'm like thinking, unbelievable. Like these guys started at the same time, and they wound up with almost the same amount of points. I don't think there ever really was that scenario before them. I mean, there's a lot of variations between players. And of course, players are going to cross milestones like I talked about in the earlier episode. But I do think when you start your career with someone and you have that rivalry and you wind up with almost the same amount of points, it's astounding. Now, obviously, Ovechkin is the better goal scorer, and Crosby is the better passer and makes more assists. But yeah, definitely go check out the highlights to that game on YouTube or NHL.com or wherever you're getting it, or on demand from Comcast if you still have that. But yeah. All right, let's talk about some pond hockey rules. I was a little curious about the rules because it's not like anything else. First of all, you're doing this outdoors. You only have a team of 4. There are no goalies to this game. It's just a wooden box with 2 slots, essentially 2 slots, and you know, and high sticking is a little different too, and it's not a full net too. It's down on the ground. It's not really bigger than, not any really taller than your ankle, or it comes up to about your ankle. And sort of weird too. I mean, it's a weird style of game from what we traditionally grew up with. If you played 5-on-5 hockey and then you had a goalie and then you faced another team 5-on-5, but you played in a rink, you played indoors. Now, these are rings too, by the way. I do want to bring that up as well. So we're going to bring this up, and I'm going to go through the rules. And there's actually 2 sets of rules, and we're going to go side by side. So I'll switch off a bit. So there's 2 sites I do want to talk about. All right, let me get this shared screen going. Get the Brave browser, share. Optimized for video clip. Okay, so if I could just hide video panel, hide meeting controls, and then we're going to press escape for meeting control. Okay. All right, here we are. So these are the official Pond Hockey Classic rules. So we appreciate you taking the time to read these. New England and Lake Champlain. So teams play 4-on-4. That's the one thing. The winner of a captain's coin toss will determine which goal to defend. So I guess you'll take the left side or the right side of the rink, depending on how you're facing it. All players must wear helmets and hockey skates. Protective equipment is optional but highly recommended. So full chest protector, elbow pads, wrist pads, gloves, pants, shin guards. You know the drill. I think that's just something you should do standard. No goalies, no goalie equipment or goalie sticks permitted. 4, all teams must have light and dark jersey or uniforms. Yeah, so that is something else. So you can't just have like the color green. You have to have like a white variation as well. All rings will start and stop on the master horn. I'm not too sure what that is, but I think they have this master horn of like when the games commence. Penalties will be called for rule infractions. Penalties called by rink monitors are final. A minor penalty will result in possession of the puck ordered to the opposing team. Rink monitors will have the discretion to also award a goal to the opposing team when a minor penalty is flagrant and or a team is consistently playing in a reckless manner. So guys, please play like gentlemen and ladies. Yeah. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, please play like ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Very standard. 7, any major penalty, including any action that could possibly injure another player, will result in that player being ejected from the tournament. The team that received the ejection will play the remainder of the tournament shorthanded 3 versus 4 or 2 versus 3. Rink officials will determine major penalties. Okay. The tournament, I am not sure if they mean just that game, because it's like, I think it's a little excessive on that rule. And I kind of have to disagree. I say just finish the game out and then just like let that person come back, because I mean, you already punished him or already. So it's weird. By the way, there are 27 rules here, about as many championships as the New York Yankees. 8, abuse of rink monitors will be considered a major penalty. This includes yelling, swearing, or arguing about calls. I don't think, I mean, like, yeah, no checking is allowed. I'll just keep going on. No slap shots allowed. Okay, this is a little bit more surprising. I think the only reason there's no slap shots is because it's a wooden box, and if you were to hit and you were to take a slap shot, it's going to go up 3 feet, about 3 feet every time, because you're hitting it 1 inch behind the puck, 1 or 2 inches behind the puck, and that thing's going to go flying, and that could certainly hit someone, but it's not like blocking a shot to protect your goalie, and because there are no goalies, so that's why no slap shots are allowed. Players cannot fall or lay on the ice in an effort to protect the goal area. So such action will result in a minor penalty. Okay, so you can't slide, you can't do anything. You can't lay down. I guess you can still kick it to your stick if you really wanted to. If you fall down and unintentionally, I don't think they'll call it, but yeah. And goaltending is not allowed. So this is kind of like basketball. These rules is not allowed. A player may not patrol, camp out, or remain stationary in the crease area and act as a goaltender. The defender may deflect the puck in the crease, but the defender must do so while continuing to move through the crease area. The crease area is defined as an imaginary box extending out 4 feet from the outside corners of the goal. Contacting the puck with a stick above the waist will result in a loss of possession. Okay, so this one, it was a bit more confusing to me because typically you're allowed to raise your stick. You just can't You just can't high stick it over your shoulder. That was the rule. But I think because there's no goalie involved, you can't really go below your waist. So you have to kind of keep it down as well. Saucer passes, i.e. pucks that are lifted low below the knee, are acceptable. Okay. If a puck goes out of bounds, the last team to touch it loses possession. Again, this is like basketball, some of these rules. During the restart, the defender must give his opponent 2 stick lengths of space. There are no offsides or icing calls. And because there's no blue line, there's no neutral zone. It's just one sheet. It's just one area, if anything, or 2 sides of the same coin. Setting picks in offensive zone is not allowed. Deference will be given to a defender in front of their own net where their progress is impeded by the pick or interference of an offensive player. Goals must be scored from the attacking side of center ice. All right, setting picks in. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Go back and read 17 if you want to. Rink monitors will call out the score after each game. This includes goal scores by players or awarded from minor penalties. There is one rink monitor and many players helping. The rink monitor is encouraged. Okay. Team must give their opponent half ice after a goal is scored or an infraction takes place. Okay, yeah. So just even though there's no line, just back up and then just restart. Games will be composed of 2 15-minute halves. Okay. Again, this is like basketball. It's halftime. With a 2-minute halftime for the New England and Lake Champion tournaments. Okay, so that's there. Pool play games can end in a tie. However, if playoff games end in a tie, the play will move to a sudden death format. I'm not sure if they mean next goal. Well, of course, next goal wins it, but I don't know how they time that. All games are running time and substitutions can be played during on the fly or while the puck is being retrieved. There's no stoppage of play after a goal is scored. So the clock's going to keep moving or after a penalty is awarded. So that's very interesting. And that's also kind of why you're only going to have at most 8 players as well. It is up to each team to ensure that there are only 4 players on the ice. Players can only play on one team. Okay, there's that. Substitutions must be made by 8 a.m. on the first day of the tournament. No other substitutions throughout the tournament are allowed. The 4 to 8 players that are on your roster, depending on the division, at 8 a.m. on the first day of the event must be the same players that play on your team throughout the tournament. Okay, so just keep that consistent. Games start and stop on the master horn. For every minute a team is late, they will be penalized a goal. It's like, geez, I don't know why they do that. And it's outdoors. It's not okay. In the event of a forfeit during pool play or any division, the team who did not forfeit will receive a win. For tiebreaker purposes, will be assisted a goals for and goals against total for that game equal to the average of their other pool play games. These will be assigned at the conclusion of the pool play round when advancement is being determined. And the final one from Pond Hockey Classic rules is, it is the responsibility of the team captain to ensure the correct game score has been logged on the scorecard. Okay, this is like the weird. What's the point of the rink monitor and the and the refs, then why have them? Then what else are they doing? I think this one is a little bit off, but I mean, like, if there's a process to do it, I mean, show me. So by signing the scorecard at the conclusion of the game, your team captain is acknowledging that they agree with the final score. Teams cannot contest scores after they have signed the scorecard. This is the weirdest thing I've seen in some time, okay? Because I've never ever had to sign a scorecard, whether I was playing Little League baseball or hockey. We never signed a scorecard. It was just on the scoreboard, or if I was like really young, we didn't even keep score. But it's like, okay, you've acknowledged that like the umpires or the referees were in charge and just logging that in the standings. So that's probably the first time I've seen anything like that. Okay, so let's take a look at the official U.S. Pond Hockey Championship tournament rules. To begin the game, teams can elect to have a face-off or give possession to one team to start. The other team will start the second half. So kind of like football in that sense. All right, so that's one. And all players must wear hockey equipment with a chin strap and hockey skates. Protective equipment is optional, but highly recommended. Okay, I think this is the same one. No goalies or goalies permitted in the tournament. In 20 machine app schedule, bottom teams are home. Okay, so there's a little difference. There will be a minimum of one off-ice pond official referee to monitor play, scoring time, puck reset, and arbor infraction. Referees will have the discretion to award a penalty shot to the opposing team when a penalty is flagrant and or a team is consistently playing in a reckless manner. Okay, I did not necessarily get that from the last tab. So here it is. Penalty shot will be taken from center ice and must be attempted within 30 seconds of the penalty being called. Anyone on the opposing team can take the shot. The team that is awarded the penalty shot will also be given possession of the puck following the penalty shot, regardless of the outcome of the shot. That's interesting. I did not know that. So this is a little different from there. And I did not see anything about a penalty shot. No penalty shot. So that's interesting. Any major penalty, which includes any action that could possibly injure a player, will result in the player being ejected from the tournament. So, and there's also no checking. Just be polite and be a gentleman or a lady. I guess you can put your hand on them. I still do that in beer league, and no one has ever called me anything out on anything. So of like just pushing off to the side or just like, distancing yourself, I don't necessarily disagree with that, but that's fine. Abuse of officials will be considered a major penalty. This includes yelling, swearing, and or arguing about calls. So you are gentlemen, and you are going to act like gentlemen and ladies. Okay. No checking is allowed. Such action will result in a minor penalty unless deemed serious injury enough to be a major. See off-ice pond official if you have any question about that. No slap shots allowed. Okay, I'll just move on. Players cannot fall or lay on the ice of the protective game, goaltending, and so very similar rules are coming up here. But I think the one difference was that penalty shot. For the first violation of goaltending, the referee will issue a warning. For any subsequent violation for this rule, a penalty shot will be awarded if the referee's opinion of goaltending violation prevented an imminent goal. The referee can award the goal at their discretion. Okay, so so now now I see that you can actually also get a penalty shot if the opposing team that you're playing against goaltended. So that's interesting. I mean, I'm not necessarily opposed to that, and at all, and that's very interesting because there are no goalies in this tournament. Contacting the stick above the waist will lost possession. Okay, so pucks that are lifted low below the knee are acceptable. Okay, so no, so just keep that low and below the knee, and I think that is a fair definition overall for a saucer pass, even in a regular game. If a puck goes out of bounds, the last team to touch it loses possession, and the opposing team gets it. So, like basketball, read this over and pause this if you want to. There are no offsides or icing calls. Goals can be scored from any area of the rink. Rink will call out each scores. Okay. Give after a goal. Games will be. Okay, 21 looks a little different. In the event of a tie during both qualifying and championship games, play in sudden death format. After the horn sounds, play will stop. A stick tap face off will take play at center ice, place at center ice, and play will continue for up to 3 minutes of overtime or until a goal is scored. Okay. Okay. So, all right. So that answers my question about the last tab. They have 3 minutes. You could do that. All right. If no goal is scored, the game will move to a sudden death shootout. Players will take turns taking penalty shots from 20 feet away from the goal during any round where one team makes a shot and or other team misses. The game is over and the team who made the shot wins. Okay, during any round, one team makes a shot and the other team misses. The game is over. Yeah. There's that. All right, let's see. If both teams miss or if both teams make the shot in a round, round continues until the game is over. Okay. So yeah, so if one person does it, so you kind of have to be consistent as it goes. And then like so if one misses and then another one misses, it continues. If one makes and the other team makes, it keeps going and it does it by round. Okay. That's all right. That in fact, I actually like that. All games are running time and substitutions can be made on the fly or while the puck is being retrieved. Substitutions must take in the vicinity of the player's bench. There is no stoppage or play after goal or after penalty is awarded. Okay, so if you are playing in high school, if you were like down like 5 goals, remember it would run. You'd have running time. Of course, and it didn't come back until everything. It didn't come back. It just kept going. It just kept going. So, so the score wouldn't be run up, or at least that's what happened if you played in Montgomery County Public Schools club ice hockey. So that's what happened. So, but that's just throughout the game. And that's kind of weird because even in basketball, they stop the clock. Rosters are final at 8 a.m. Okay, we covered that. Setting picks in offense zone is not allowed. All players must visibly display their credentials during the game. All right, we did not discuss that on the other tab. That is the one, credentials. Players without credentials are not allowed to play. So I think they'll just have something on your wrist or on your jersey or something. Nothing out of the ordinary. 27 is the responsibility of the team captain to ensure that the game has been logged in the scorecard by signing the scorecard and acknowledging that. Okay, any scoring. All right. So this bullet point here, let's get to it. Any scoring challenges must be addressed by registered team captain with the USPH director or officials at Center Ice HQ 10 within 60 minutes of the end of the game. 28. In the event of a forfeit during a pool division. The team who did not forfeit will receive purposes and will be assigned a goal. What's average? Okay, and that's the last one there. So I am glad that you can challenge that as a captain too, and signing off on anything. I mean, you have to have the ability to challenge that. All right, let me get back to the escape. We are going to I guess we're gonna stop the share. If I can do that. All right. Okay. And we are back to the main setting. I do want to thank you for sticking with me. And I think just going over the rules of pond hockey was something I did want to cover because it looks interesting too. And for a guy who was not the best at taking hits on the ice at times, I do think it's just good to play in a league where there's no checking. And if you're not into checking, I guess try pond hockey if you're up in like Massachusetts or something. Or yeah, so Massachusetts. Or yeah, that would be okay. That would be yeah, it would be yeah, I think it is Massachusetts. Yeah, New England area, whatever. But that is something else. All right. Okay. Thank you for listening to episode 24. Please do share this out. I will have an article out hopefully either tomorrow for paid members, and I will get better at doing this as well. And yeah. No bonus show, but a paid article will be out by Friday. So take care. And yeah. Peace out. All right. Yeah. One more thing. One more thing. I almost forgot. If you can definitely go subscribe to my Substack for free. There is a free option. You don't have to pay for it. I'll put out free stuff and free content as well over there, free written stuff. You can absolutely go there and just do it for free as well. And just give it a try. Let me know what you think. And also, I'll put my other Substack in the show notes as well. This is just for my other podcast, the Blue Oasis podcast. So let me know what you think of both of them. And I'll see you all in the next episode. Peace out.